this is not how I imagined my first hour in this apartment, especially since I had a whole plan involving tea, unpacking, and quiet reflection. I'm telling myself that foam is just temporary, even though it's currently stuck to my favorite mug and somehow humming. I'm trying to stay calm because panicking won't help, but I'm also wondering if this is a metaphor for my entire life right now. I moved here to simplify things, and instead I'm scrubbing synthetic marshmallow off my curtains. Maybe this is the universe's way of saying, welcome to the unpredictable chapter.
I brought a mop. Although I should warn you, it's technically a prototype that also doubles as a karaoke machine, so it might start singing if it gets wet. I know this wasn't the smoothest welcome, but I promise I'm great at fixing things, even when I'm the one who broke them. I really do want to help, even if my methods are a little unconventional and occasionally foam-based. I think you're going to love it here once you get used to the rhythm, which is mostly chaos with a dash of charm. And hey, if nothing else, you'll have the cleanest walls in the building.
I figured I'd take a walk and meet a few neighbors, because even though I'm still recovering from the foam incident, I want to start fresh. I'm hoping people here are friendly, and maybe a little less experimental than Tom, although I'm trying not to judge too quickly. I brought cookies as a peace offering, which feels like the universal language of please like me. I'm reminding myself that community takes time, and awkward first impressions don't have to define everything, and if all else fails, I'll just smile and pretend I'm not still slightly sticky.
Oh, hello, dear. You must be the new girl in 2B, and I must say you've already made quite the impression with that foam explosion earlier. We haven't had excitement like that since Mr. Delgado tried to install a hot tub on his balcony and flooded the laundry room. I'm Mrs. Kaplan, and I know everything that happens in this courtyard, whether people want me to or not. Your cookies smell delightful, and I do hope they're not gluten-free, because I believe in real flour and real gossip. Welcome to Maplewood. We're weird, but we're loyal.
I've drawn up a plan to fix your wall, and by plan, I mean a series of sketches that may or may not be based on actual physics. I think if we reinforce the foam with a layer of smart gel, it'll stabilize the structure and also glow in the dark, which is a bonus. I've never tested this before, but I'm feeling optimistic because the last time I used smart gel, it only melted one bookshelf. I know you're skeptical, but I promise this time I've triple-checked the chemical ratios and added a failsafe that's mostly decorative. So if you're ready, we can begin Operation Wall Hug.
I'm trying to stay open-minded, even though the phrase Operation Wall Hug makes me deeply nervous and slightly itchy. I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm genuinely impressed by your creativity, even if it occasionally leads to structural emergencies. I'm also reminding myself that this is your way of showing care, and that's actually kind of sweet in a chaotic, unpredictable way. I'll supervise from a safe distance and offer emotional support while you do whatever it is you're about to do. And if anything starts glowing unexpectedly, I reserve the right to scream.
Every new tenant gets a welcome mixer, and by mixer I mean a potluck with questionable casseroles and unsolicited advice. You'll meet everyone from the building, including Mr. Delgado, who speaks exclusively in riddles, and the twins upstairs who communicate through interpretive dance. It's a tradition that started in the 80s and has only gotten weirder with time, which is part of its charm. I expect you to bring something edible and something entertaining, preferably both. And don't worry, dear. If you survive the mixer, you're officially one of us.
I wasn't expecting a social event this soon, especially one that involves riddles and interpretive dance. But I'm trying to embrace the chaos. I'll bake something simple and smile politely while trying not to panic, which is my go-to strategy in unfamiliar situations. I'm hoping people will appreciate effort over perfection, because my casserole skills are limited and my entertainment value is mostly internal. I'm also reminding myself that community means showing up, even when you're not sure what you're walking into. And if all else fails, I'll hide behind the snack table. I'm finally settling into bed, and I'm telling myself that today was just an unusually chaotic beginning rather than a sign of what every day will be like here. I'm trying to focus on the soft hum of the ceiling fan instead of replaying the foam explosion in my mind like a highlight reel of questionable life choices. I'm reminding myself that new places always feel strange at first, even when they come with unpredictable neighbors and sentient cleaning devices. I'm breathing slowly and hoping tomorrow will be calmer, even though I'm not entirely convinced that's possible. And I'm choosing to believe that this move will eventually make sense, even if tonight feels like a cliffhanger. I woke up to this alarm, and I'm trying to stay calm even though my heart is pounding like it's studying for a percussion section. I'm hoping this is just a false alarm, but given the last 24 hours, I'm preparing for something significantly less simple. I'm scanning the courtyard for smoke, sparks, or runaway gadgets because those seem like realistic possibilities here. I'm also reminding myself that panicking won't help, even though my instincts are screaming otherwise. And I'm sincerely hoping Tom isn't responsible, even though statistically he probably is.
Okay, so the alarm might be partially my fault, but in my defense, I didn't think the prototype would interpret sunrise as a security threat. I programmed it to detect unusual activity, and apparently the sun qualifies because it's technically a giant ball of fire. I was trying to improve courtyard safety, even though I realize now that my definition of safety might need some fine-tuning. I'm working on shutting it off, but the device is currently in defensive mode, which means it's ignoring me. And I promise I'll fix this before the neighbors start throwing things.
If this alarm doesn't stop in the next 30 seconds, I'm calling the fire department, the mayor, and possibly the local news because I refuse to live like this. I've survived 3 decades in this courtyard, and I will not be defeated by a beeping metal gremlin. I knew something like this would happen the moment Hazel moved in, because new tenants always bring chaos. I expect a full explanation once the noise stops, preferably one that doesn't involve the phrase unexpected malfunction. And Tom, dear, this is your final warning before I confiscate your toolbox.
I have an important video call in 5 minutes, and I'm telling myself that everything is going to go smoothly even though the universe has not supported the theory so far. I'm trying to project calm professionalism, even though I'm still recovering from the courtyard alarm incident. I've triple-checked my background to make sure there's no foam, residue, or suspicious gadgets in view. I'm breathing deeply and reminding myself that I'm competent, capable, and fully prepared for this meeting, and I'm hoping Tom stays on his side of the duplex for at least 30 minutes. This is exactly what I was afraid of, and I'm trying not to panic, even though my meeting starts in 2 minutes and the wall just shook. I'm telling myself that maybe the crash wasn't as loud as it sounded, even though my lamp is still vibrating. I'm debating whether to check on Tom or pretend I didn't hear anything, and neither option feels particularly wise. I'm hoping the noise doesn't carry through my microphone because I really need to appear like a functioning adult right now. And I'm praying that whatever fell over there stays on the floor until after my call.